Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to wait to let the time for everyone to join. I see we're not all there yet. Thank you, Tom, for the BSOD count. I think I'll be okay today. I hope so. We are going to start. Just want to make sure that you're all able to see my screen and hear me right now. Thank you for the feedback. So that's interesting. Jimmy, did you set the store number under your license? So if you open your Logi license, here we have a store number. So if you need to match the store that you have here, as you can see right now, for me it's not matching my LBus 688. I'm set to 687. So to change it, you go to Operation, you select Change Store Number, and you type in the store number you want to use. Oh, for me it's already on the virtual machine, but that. So today we will see at I believe I will be able to finish what I'm sorry, what we have for the course plan before the break. First, to start off with LBus and LPUS, we have a module that we call the time clock. There's no extra fee to get it. I mentioned that it is a model, but that's included into the software, so it's part of it. So the time clock program, what it allows you to do is really to punch in, punch out for your cashier. So this and also there is report that are coming with that. So to configure the time clock, some place that we haven't really looked into yet is under LBus file configuration. I will go through some of the tab today, but to start off, we will go with miscellaneous, where we have the time clock button configuration. This will install a service that will use a UDP to so here it's telling me, sorry for the French message, it's telling me to make sure that I configure the time period. If you do it on your system, it will be in English for sure. I did change my original settings, so the dollar sign will be at the beginning of the line instead of at the end with the French. So that's the time clock. So you can set up the block size. The grace time is the setting to let let's say if the cashier is the cashier, but the employee is late. You have 1 or 2 minutes to come in. That can be configured, so decide by the store. And we have a limit for each punch. So let's say you don't want an employee to work 16 hours or be notified if they work 16 hours or more. There will be a message, an urgent message in the system. So that's the generic network setting. So when it is active, it will install a service on my computer to use it. When it is active, we have also access to under LBoss module, there is time clock manager. So this allow you to see the punch and do adjustment. So that's of course right now I don't have any one punch in that I didn't punch in yet. And under the report, under cashier, we have employee work details and employee work hours summary. So the two reports will be used for time clock to see how many hours each employee have worked. There is a standalone application, so you don't need to absolutely install it on the LBoss on the lane. Well, you are not forced to use the lane for punching in. So there is a standalone application. Time clock is my. Oh, I want a POS. I need to look on the LBoss. Clock is the application. So it looked like this. Now it's trying to detect my LBoss since it's the first time I open it. Look okay. I will just verify the setting to make sure I'm on not the right store. I don't want to be on 998. I want to be on 688. This is all the store I'm detecting right now, so I'm not detecting mine. So it is running as a service. Logivision. So my Logivision time clock service is not installed. I'll just force the installation from here. Sean just joined perfect. If I refresh this window, Logivision time clock, here it is. Property, I'll just make sure it is at the right location with the LBoss training. So let me go back here and do discover again. And I still don't see my LBoss. Why? Might be a firewall problem on my side. I'll verify my configuration if I did something wrong. 8050, 8052. Oh, 8052. Let me just see the INI if I can force it manually instead of using the discover option. Here is because we have a lot of LBoss on the same network, so sometimes it does create a little conflict. Just letting someone in the. Yeah, I do have a few LBoss on my computer. Sorry about that. That might be confusing. So, relaunching time clock. If I go here, 688, so that's the right one. Good. If I try to log in with my cashier, enter, I will enter my password. So it's the same password that I used at the POS to enter. As you can see here, it's oh, did not respond. You want to like to modify or retry? That's bizarre. 7. Why do you say it's connected and you say you don't? It didn't respond. So well, I'm sorry for that. I will look to fix it for during the lunch, during the break. So to log in, normally we do our operator IDs. Here we enter our password, press the enter button. Now I don't have the answer, but the password is the one matching the POS. So if you're using a password to log in at the POS, you will have a password under the time clock. I believe it might be a problem with my firewall here. Let me do a test quickly on the because I still have the virtual machine that I was using before yesterday. Let's just see if I can reach it to on there. I don't have the firewall is not controlled by the office. It's really a brand new Windows that is on this computer. You have the same issue, Mike? So this one is already installed. I'll just make sure that I uninstalled this one to be the one from this machine before I do it. Open the file location, time clock service. Yes. Yeah, no, you did not do it even. Oh, you want to uninstall? Yes. Sorry. So now it is uninstalled. If I go back here and reinstall it, yes. Miscellaneous time clock. Okay. Oh, I'm missing the active box. I'm so sorry. That's probably what is wrong on my other setup too. So at the bottom here, there is an active box that we need to set. Otherwise, it will not work. So that's probably the problem I was having. I go to time clock now, launch the application. So that's the standalone application. It doesn't need to be on LBoss. You can put it on any machine you want. So it's not working with. It can be on a computer that, let's say, the store don't use or one in the back. It doesn't matter. If I look here, Discover, it's always one to connect to store 998. It's very popular. Yes, Mark, you can have this time clock client on all the POS and all the PC you want. A few years ago, we were using it at the office to punch in, so we were 50% having the application on our machine to log in to punch in and punch out when we were leaving after the day. So yes, it can be. There's no limit. So now to log in. So I enter my operator, enter. I will put my password from the POS, enter, and now I'm log in with my operator. So I can select that I will come in, punch in, and right now at the top you see the line is red. So when the line is red, it means that I'm not punch in. So if I punch in right now, it will become green. And by default the application will minimize itself. No, it will close actually when you use it. Under the settings window, we have some stuff that we can change. So click keep application open after punch. You can also be kept logged in. So if you're the only one using this specific computer, you can keep the application login for you, and we can show it in the system tray. I'm just going to give it a moment so it record the punch because I'm pretty sure I'm set to that's an error since I did not check the active. I'm set to reject punch that are less than a minute. In our punch, yeah, if less than a minute. So I'll just give me some time to punch in at the POI. Well, to be punched in for a while. 7, enter password to see Okay, I punch in at 114, so I should be able to punch out at 116. The POS will be looking automatically for a store number. So if your POS is installed with store number 68801, it will look for a time clock that is running on store 688. At the POS, it's really a button, so it's different a little. I'll show you at the same time. I believe the buttons are already created on the system. So let me just log out here. I punch out, sorry. So I have one in my table to show you how it works. Let me go to the buttons and form. At the POS, the button is called, is it time clock? Oh, time clock, yes. So the button already exists, time clock with the function. I will add it to one of my form. No, not there. I'll put it down here. I'll remove the arrow here, since I will not need it for today. Time clock. You want to save? Yes. So at the POS, the way it works, oh, I still have my ad already on this one. I'll turn it off. The way it works is that you press the time clock button first. After that, it asks you to enter your operator number and press the cashier ID. So my operator number is 7. I will press cashier ID number. I enter my password, which is 6622. Hit enter. I select that I'm logging in with no reason. If I was, there is reason. The reason can be modified. So if someone come late, they can enter why they were late. If you want to customize them, this is possible. They can be changed. So I will see no reason for now. Oh. Oh. But now I might have 2 service running. I'll just make sure that the one on my computer is not running so it doesn't conflict with the one on the virtual machine. Stop. If I start over, time clock, operator number, cashier ID, password, no reason. Dominic is punching out. Oh, I'm punching out. So if I go to my report, well, let me show you first the time clock manager that is under module. So I see that I work today. First time was for 2 minutes, and after that was for 1 minute. So for a total of a big work day of 3 minutes, I will probably be exhausted after this day. Under cashier, if I look at the employee work hours summary, the report, I select the period, so there will be only one. Right now, I think I'm set to have a period of 1 week. So if the employee are paid, you can decide under the settings how the employee, how the information is tracked. So right now I'm set to be paid per week. Configuration. Yeah, so the period cycle is 1 week. So the other options are 14 days, twice a month, or once every month. And here, if I preview the report, so I see that I have worked not much, 3 minutes. For overtime, it's not. It will be. It depends because since the law is different everywhere, it was difficult to have a setting that is there. So it will really need to be considered by the store. So there's no tracking of overtime. So we can set limits that will reject the punch, but it will not be based on the week. It will be based on the actual punch. But if someone work more than 8 hours, there will be also a notification. Here you can set an urgent message to tell the store, so it will be flashing here at the top. and it will say operator 7 Dominic has worked for more than 8 hours, and this is customizable. So if you want to make sure that no one work more than 8 hours a day, that's where you will configure it, but it's not based on the on a week or on the period itself. Well, here's the other report. I think it's I'm showing you summary. Here's the detail. So it showed me my 2 punch, one at 114 and the other one at until 116, and that's where it's showing. So that's not something we can really use, let's say, for real pay, but that's each details will be on the work hour details, and the summary is just a total per day. And the here we can do adjustment, or we can add entry. So I can edit and change this from being at this time to be a longer period. So I want it to be, let's say, no, it really work up to 9:30. Miss punch. Error in punch. And it will show the comment. And if I do again the report detail, it will show me that it was adjusted by someone. Just give it the time to process it. Preview. To here, you see the correction of the punch, error in punch. So that's written there. And here, if I see it was adjusted by Dominic. Also, by default in the system, we have a cleanup configuration. So again, under file configuration of your LBOSS, there is the tab called cleanup. This tab is to keep the information in the database. So by default, we keep the sales for 92 days on daily information. After that, they are reconciled on weekly, monthly, and yearly information. So they are still there, but you will not be able to see the sales for a specific day. You will be only able to see the sale for a specific week, month, or year. If you want to make the settings higher, we can go up to 3 years, so 1096 days. So by default here, this is set to 92. It can be sent to 1096, and the same thing here, 1096, which is 3 years. So of course, that's something when you do an installation to go verify, because once the file are being archived and set to be weekly, monthly, and yearly, it's the process to extract them and put them back in the system can take some time. It's not difficult, but it's just a long process that need to be done. Also, the next tab, which is called load file, this one allow us to load extra utility or extra module. So if you request at some point e-commerce integration, and we are the one doing it for you, we will create a file that we will call LBO. This file is a LBO stand for LBOSS. This file can be loaded from this window. It will allow you to install extra options. So let's say you want to go with the e-commerce solution. So it will create task, add the report to the right place for that, and it will automate the process. So the LBO are used for that. Also the LHTML module, which is used for the handheld device. There is also the gas pump configuration that will be loaded through LBO, so that will install the gas pump option on the system. I will show you some setup that I have from different customers on my computer in a few minutes. But the option here, load file, will be used often. So you select the file on your disk, it will add it. Well, let me do a real example with the LHTML. Well, Sean, it can't, for the time clock, it can be linked to the cashier ID button, because we don't know if the cashier will log off at some point from the POS to walk around the store or go somewhere else or help a customer. So the time clock is really something separated from the login and log out of the POS. We can edit the button to do it, but most customers who tried it generated some error or problem. So If a cashier walk away from the POS and they are still logged in, there is some kind of security problem there. If someone goes to POS, press then no sales or sell anything to open the drawer and steal the money, I don't think it's the best practice to go with. There's always a way to trick the button to do it if that's what they really want. But by default, that's not something that is active or available as an option. Sorry about that. I'm just getting the LHTML module. This is available on our website. Where is it? So that's the file that you will get from the website. The extension is .lbo, so lbus file, sorry. This one require a minimum version. We're okay since we're on 5.0.15. The minimum for this version is 5.0.6. So from lbus, under, where are you, lbus? I'll just close some window. From file, configuration, load file. I go from disk. I select my desktop. On the bottom part of the window, the LHTML will show up once it will be ready to be activated in the LBUS. Here it is, so LHTML terminal monitor. So when I'm ready to activate the option, I do load selected file. It will copy all the files to the right location. So it will prevent, there's no intervention from us. It's really all automatic. It will ask me to restart the LBUS at the end. I see that we have a question from Crystal. Is there a report that combines time clock with sales? So see how much label, sorry. So store could see how much labor they add with how much they sold or something like that. That's not a report that we have. That would be feasible for sure right now with the current table, the table structure. So if they are looking to get the information per hour per cashier, that's something that can be achieved on a custom report. Yes, it will be some work from us, but that's the information is already in the table. So now my HTML is installed. I have a new task under my LBUS. Here it is, LHTML terminal monitor. So when I load the LBO, it created the task and installed the program required for LHTML. Again, LHTML is really for handheld device. So when you do inventory transaction and you can import information from it into the inventory module, you can change the price of some items. Here I can see that it is set to load at startup. So it should in a few seconds start by itself. So the checkbox here, execute at loading time is active. I'll just give it some time. There it is. So when the HTML launch, it also opened the help file and the configuration, since it is not ready to work until we do some configuration. On my side, I will just remove the security. That's the security that required to be set, and I'll go with that. So that's how we install an LBO. The other LBO that we have, just to show you on my computer, we have a gas pump server. Just changing master number here. And it comes with a simulator, so that's how the gas pump interface. Well, my setup is a little bit custom, but at the top you will have your pump. If someone decides to lift the nozzle, you will have a notification. I don't think you're able to hear the sound, but on my side I do have a sound telling me that someone is touching the pump right now. I can select my gas, which is very expensive, and do. I need to log in. Sorry. Click my pump and authorize. Yes, Mark, I'll be showing it very shortly, but the version I install is the old one, so it's not the new one. So I don't mind showing you the old one for now. So that's how a gas pump will look like. So that's also an LBO. If you want to see, that's the option to email the receipt. So I can enter my email address. And that's coming also with LBus without any module. That's for the email part, I mean. So that's how the LBus with the gas pump look like. For the LHTML module, let me show you how it look, the version that we currently have. I'm not sure, Mark, to understand what is DSD. Is it something an abbreviation for something? Oh, thank you for the information. Sorry about that. So that's the current HTML window that we have. Can you show a screen and operation of NL interface? So yeah, so this NL terminal is the version that we currently have available for all our store. We have a new one that I will show you a quick preview after that if we have time. So of course right now I'm doing it on a computer, so it's not like on a small device. So we have the following option. The transfer is grayed out because I'm not in a multi-store environment. So I can do price check if I want. So I can look at the price of my item 1. Here it is on the screen, so regular price. I see my batch that will be my next price that will be active. That is active already because we're the 29, right? Oh, because it's since right now I'm on sale up to I'm at 139. Okay, I see. So the next price will be at 299. So that's the price verification. We can go back to the menu. So when we do an order, we create a new session. We enter our item number. There's no vendor verification. That this is done after. So if you scan the items and they are coming from multiple vendors, the file will be separated into files. So and with the vendor name in the name. If I put that and I end my session just to do an order to show it, it generates a file. It told me where the file is. So from the inventory module, I can go here, order. I don't remember what was the vendor on my item 1 and 2. I just want to make sure. So the vendor is 789 and 102. Okay. So in this case, I will have 2 files. So one for my Oreo cookies and the other one for my my Uncle Ben rice. So import from portable device. The first time we have to browse to the location. After that, it will remember where it is, so you don't have to do it. But only the first time we need to go there manually. The path is in the message here, so we can always follow this path to find out the file. So here you can see that I have my file. So I have 2. One is for vendor 102 because the item that I had was item 2 and item 1. So vendor 102 is the Uncle Bell rice, and my item 1 is 789. So in the file name, I do have the information there. So let me select the one for the Oreo cookies. Type of file is HT order, and it will load the information that I got from the file, and I can just post it in the system. I'll start the new one so it gets the time to start. It's I just need an extra program, so that's why I will just start it before, and I will continue. So it will be loading on my computer while we are continuing. Oh, Docs, there it is. Interesting. I'll go back to my here. So that's done. So I just want to come back on the customer. I know we saw them over the week, but we never went in depth. So when we go to account, we have an option to open account view. So this will open all the windows that are related to customer. There's 3. One is the risk level to configure the max credit, the check limit, the check change. We have also the option here to accept or refuse check here. So if the customer, we know that the checks are bouncing, we can decide to not go with it. The level number is really to decide the price level, give a discount that is configured under each customer account. When we create the customer account at the front end, we have a template that we can use. So it is 7 times number 9 for the customer number. New. Is it 7? Did I put? I'm sorry, I just put 6. So 7 for real now this time. So here you can see when I'm on this customer, some fields are grayed out. They can be modified since they will be coming from the POS, but you can decide that all customer that will be created, which level they will have, which risk level, sorry, they will have, which client level they will have. You can hard code the state and postal code if you need to. If you're planning to use tax exempt, we can enter here the tax exempt number. I know we have 4 tax, so to access the tax 3 and 4, you need to double click on the field. If it's tax 1 exempt, if you do double click, you will have tax 3. If you double click on tax 2, it will be tax 4. So that's the template. So when we're creating customer at the POS, that's information that are not grayed out can be hard coded in the system. So we do have also with customer the, oh, I'm sorry. Jimmy, I'm just going to answer. How does that keep up with how much credit the customer has left? I'm not sure to understand. Well, yes, Crystal, that's correct. If you enter the tax ID, it will remove the tax at the POS when you will call this customer account on every transaction. For the credit, the max credit is set to 5,000. So when I do a charge on my customer, let's do an example, Jimmy. Maybe it will be easier to understand. So if I call right now, my customer is limited to 5,000, customer 1. At the POS, I will call my customer 1. So I will scan 50 times my item 1. I don't know at which amount I'll be. It's pretty cheap. I have too many coupons, I guess, on that one. Let's go with something else. 3 is at what price? 50 times 3. Okay. Let me get. That's not the setup from yesterday, so I don't remember the price. Let me just get my regular beer and make them $4,500. Cancel the sale. Calling customer account 1. Scanning PLU16. So to do a charge, also we use the charge button. Is it on the screen here? Yeah, charge account. There's a shortcut. I was going to use the shortcut, but here it is. So now I did a charge of $4,915 on my account. If I go back to maintenance and come back here, I see that my balance is $4,915. So if I do another transaction with customer account 1, and I go with item 16 again, and I do my charge account, it will tell me that the customer credit limit has been reached. The maximum charge allowed is $84.22, so that's what it currently left for my customer. And you see the balance also at the bottom here when you call your account. Is it answering your question, Jimmy? Okay, so sell using the button. Need to get used to that. Also, I think I did mention it, but I prefer to come back on it. The product reward program, it's an option that where you let me create one just to show you. It's when you buy. I think I did mention it, but let's say you are in a pet store, and if you buy 12 bag, and that's not in one transaction for sure. If you buy 12 bag over a year or a few years, you will get the third one, the 13th bag free. So let me just show you. So free bag, free bag after 12. Trigger quantity will be 12. We'll give 100% off, and it applied to all the customer. When it's set to 0, that means all the customer. I will create a pet food bag. New item. This is a pet food bag. The price will be $69.99. I'll set my subdepartment to be Delhi. Tax 1, 2. We have tax on it. We can see how it behave. I'll send it to the PO. Oh, I forgot to set my promo ID. So here promo ID 1. So it's matching what I have under my product reward. So if I go back to my POS and I call my customer account 1, one account number, I scan my bag of pet food, and it didn't work. Oh no, it does work on this version. If I press enter, let's say I buy 12 just to show you how it looked. 10, 11, 12. It didn't work. Override allowed. Oh, I did not send that part. That's why it's important to do deploy all change and not always a satellite. I forgot to send my the product reward that I configured. That's interesting. And right now, since I'm sending the information, I'll just look at, oh yeah, I changed, okay, at the other question from Jimmy. Are you able to put the charge account number in when selecting tender, or do you need to have the account already pulled up? You can have let's say if I do the, if I scan my items, please wait, importing file, okay. No, you're not importing anything. You're lying to me. Oh, we have an example on not how to do La Division. I'm trying to do everything quickly, and I'm crashing my own setup. I did not get the blue screen of that yet. But yes, Jimmy, no blue screen of that yet so far. I'm expecting to be perfect today on the blue screen of that side. I think Mark is having a hard time. I see that he joined and quit, but I'm sorry, not there's two Mark. So let me just so just to answer you, Oh, okay, no problem, Mark. Just to answer Jimmy, I can scan my item first. I will not go to ICE since I know my account is, and after that I can call my customer account here and do my charge account. Doesn't matter in the order I do it. It will still work, yes. And to show my product reward program that I made for my my pet food bag. So if I buy 12, I should get one free, and that's not just in one transaction. I will show you it in one transaction to start. Let's see at least if it works. Yes, you see that the last bag is free, but I can do it over a few transactions. This is saved in a table. And also I can set up an option that under each line of the item, it will show how many bag I have left to buy to get my free one. So that can be done under POS setup system. I don't know if you remember, I told you that we will often go to AD. To AD, the setting is called always show PRP count. So again, to change the setting, we double click in the current value to move it from false to true. And if I do my transaction again, but this time I will do it not in one, but in a different one. So I will do it in 3 transactions. So I'll buy here. You can see that I have the buy 11 more and get one free, etc. So every time I'll set it, it will show the information. So I do it in one transaction. I will just give it the time to process the file. There's a delay of 12 seconds. So I just want to show you the right number, because if I do it right now, it will still show buy 11 more, but it should be 7. So if I do it now, call my customer account 1, scanning the item. So 754, complete it with cash. Yes, Jimmy, you can set it. Let's say right now, normally the way it works is by brand. So you can set up a few items of the same brand to the same PID. So if they are already the way it work, we have a customer who's doing it, and all the bag of the same size of the same brand, they are all available with the same PRP reward.
So Dominic, I've got a question. I've got a customer that wants to assign a point value to select items. So for instance, earn 100 points and you get a 16-ounce bottle of ketchup for free, Heinz ketchup for free. Can that be done?
You're just one step ahead of me. That's my next part.
Okay.
So I'll show you that.
I'll shut up.
Don't worry. So just to finish with this example, so on multiple transaction, here I have my free. Well, let me just error correct the last one. It's not. I don't want my free bag yet. I'll wait for my next visit. So now the next item that I will get will be free. So I will just let the system process the transaction. And I'm calling my customer account for one last time for this. Scanning here. And here my item, oh, your next, I cancel one in extra before. So here my item is free. So I buy one and I get one free due to the product reward promotion. To answer my question, since that's I said it was the next thing I'll be mentioning, under maintenance account, we have here the I will point reward option. So there is 3 type of discount that we can do. Let me just create one. So do I have the access to the drop down? So here we can either do a gift card, a discount, or a printed coupon. So if I understand properly, Mike, you want to give a free ketchup when you have 100 points. Is that correct?
Yes.
So here we'll have two options. We either can do it with the print coupon or the dollar discount. To set up a relation with the item, we will have to use it combined with an ECL. So it will not be directly from this configuration, but with the ECL, when we sell when we do the discount or the printed coupon, they can be set to 0. It doesn't matter, but it will trigger your free bottle of ketchup if the customer got one in the transaction.
Okay, so, but can they continue to accumulate points without redeeming? Let's say for 200 points, you got a half gallon of ice cream.
Yeah, for sure. If they decide not to go with it, there will be a prompt on the screen for the cashier when we use this option, and the cashier will be asked, do you want to use your point now for free ketchup because this is what you have with your point? If they say no, and in a few transactions after, they come back at the store and now do you want to use it for free ketchup or for free ice cream? So they can decide which one they want to use. And of course, when the transaction will be complete, it will redeem the point from the account.
Okay, so now that I see the reward type of a gift card, if they reach, say, 1,000 points, they can get a $25 gift card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you set what dollar amount equals 1 point?
Yes, that's not here. But well, let's say if you give a free discount, a free gift card, that will be here. You will say that the point required, you will say, let's say 1,000 points, and you need 50, and you want it to be $50 reward. If you want to set how many points you get per dollar, that will be, there is 3 ways of doing that. So here we're really about the customer accumulating point. So we can set it up on each item here under the point value field, if you can see. Or we can configure it on the subdepartment at the bottom here, point percentage, or the third option is on the tender. So under buttons and forms, if I go to tender cash, right now my point percentage is 100%. So for 1 cent, I get 1 point. That's my current configuration that I have.
But that's on cash purchases only.
Well, yes. Right
you
now,
set it up for each tender?
Yeah, correct. So here I can put it here 100% too, and it will also give 1 point per percent. For the redeem part, we can also directly convert the point to a dollar value. So we have a flag under POS setup system advanced. Again, it is called subtract. No, say it's redeem conversion rate something. Point redeem conversion rate. So here we can decide how much is worth every point to if we just want to convert the point directly to a dollar value to pay for the transaction.
Okay.
You're correct, Mark. The maximum for the point reward at the time is 10. Otherwise, the graph that it brings on screen is very difficult to read, and it can lead to error. So yes, the maximum of point reward that you can use at the same time is 10. So you can have 10 different promotion for point rewards only here. I'm talking. So if you want to go with the point tender, it can be set. There's no limit for that. If you go with the product reward, also that's something that is different from the point program. Do you have any question? Anyone or any interrogation before I show you the new LBus Mobile? How it? I think it might be ready. Oh, remind me later. Yeah. Jimmy, I'm sorry. Maybe you just Google translate one of your words from your. Well, we do recommend to go with the customer account. I know that we have a lot of customer that do not um, do not use customer account with the software. It's a good feature that we have. I'm just mentioning them since that's part of the software. We are very popular with the pet food store where they use the product reward program where we have the buy 12 get one free after that. So that's something that we that is very the module that we sell a lot right now for our customer. At some point, I know that there was a lot of points were very popular, so we were having a lot of customer that wanted to use the point system. Since a year or two, it reduced, so they are less looking for point rewards, to be honest. But you can buy the system without using the customer account. If you don't want to use them, they are there. But if you want to do point and everything, it's an extra module. So if they don't buy the extra module, they will not be able to use the option, but it will not prevent them from using the system and doing sales. Any other question? Yes, Mark, there is a third-party company for rewards. One that we use a lot right now that is very popular is Data Candy. I believe they changed their name since they were acquired recently. But Data Candy is also a point company. Yeah, they are now a part of Paystone, so they are not called Data Candy anymore. But they are one of the popular one. From the top of my head, I know that there was some work being done with Loyalty Lane, and another one, but I'm not sure of the name, so I will not go forward with it. For e-commerce, there's two options actually. One that we have already released, which is called SelfPoint, to install a website, so SelfPoint, and we are working on a different one. It is called Omni, let's say Omni-channel, and it will be interfacing to Shopify. We are working on the release for that. It should be released very shortly. I'm preparing actually the training for the new Omni module, so it will be given at some point and announced in the next few weeks. But the Omni channel will allow to have an integration to Shopify. And just to go back to Brad's question, yes, we can adjust the balance from the back office. That's an important thing that I should have shown. You can right-click on the balance when you're in maintenance. You can do adjustment, and you can either add or subtract, and you can decide at the end I want it to be 0, so it will do the math for you, or I don't want my customer to have any point anymore, and okay, and it will do it in the system. Yes, it will be in the report. Well, yes, it will be also in the, that's open. Sorry. Let me show you the report. Client, customer detail, I think will be the one is that will show. So if I go with my customer account 1 for today, I can see that there was an adjustment that was made. It will probably be also on the statement. Let me just show you. So yeah, on the adjustment, on the statement, I do have it. A payment, it can only be done at the POS. The payment, yeah, I did not show that. The period for the statement, Jimmy, is always from the first of the month to the end of the month. So that's also the same thing for the interest. For the payment, let me just show you the payment before I forget about it. Is the button already on screen, or did I remove it by mistake? So let me add the button on screen. Tender. It will not be under tender. It's RA receive on account. Oh, was it there already? Pay account or? Oops, wrong form. My bad. Oh yeah, it was there already. Pay account. So when we're too used to see something, we don't see anything anymore. So let's go to number 1 account. And here I still owe 10.18, so I will go on my pay account. It will pay the whole balance. If I wanted to enter an amount, I can always see that I decide to pay 5 and press the pay account button. It will work too. And I complete with either cash, credit, check, whatever we want to use. Just give me a sec. I see that there's a few questions coming in. I just want to not skip any. So that's okay for the payment part. For the adjustment, yes, Brad, there's no comment that we can put there. That's true. So right now it's really that there won't be any information there. I'm sorry. Oh no, it's on my screen. Sorry, it's on the it's on the chat. It's on the other screen. I'm just trying to follow up. I saw that there are a few messages. So I'm just copying, pasting the information in a notepad to not miss anything. So my mouse is back on the. Oh, it's invisible for me too. Reading Mark question: using AR balance forward method or open invoice method for applying payments. Balance forward. Yep. Currently, the way we work, it's really the balance forward. So we are doing payment on the oldest outstanding purchase amount. That's what we're doing. We do not have the option for open invoice. Okay, and now let me. Yes, emailing statement is an option. So statement by email, that will do it automatically. That will be based on the email that you have configured on your customer account. So here in the email, if I do it, of course, this email doesn't work. That's an older, that's a colleague that is now retired. So, so I will not do it for him. But if I change it to mine, I think I already have one, so I might not be able to. If I go to here, and I need to activate also the option. Also, the customer can decide if they want to have it by email or not. So we need to check the send by email option. It will be per account. And we can have multiple contacts, so we can assign multiple email to the same account, but one of them will be the main, and when we will be doing the email, it will use the main one. So by default, we only send it to the main person. Customer 1. And if I go to my email, FreshUp, I did the integration this summer, so we do have an LBO for FreshUp. For AppCard, I think that's the one we're working on right now. That's the name I was not quite sure. AppCard, yeah, it tell me something, Brad. AppCard, so that's the one we're probably working on right now. Just waiting on the email. Let me show you in the meantime how the where is it in French now? Oh, because my customer account is in French, I guess. Isn't? Yeah. Let me just show you quickly the new LBus Mobile since it's ready and seems to be running. So that's an Android simulator program. So that's why it looked like Android to you. So I can launch the LBus Mobile here. My operator number is 7. Password. Loading. I haven't used it in a while, so I don't know if it will log in or not. I'm a little bit scared it might not work. I have the right LBus. I want to make sure. WooCommerce, it's in the plan, but as we speak right now, the priority is really on Shopify. Of course, when I want to show something, it doesn't work, and it was working like just before lunch. Ah. Do you have any other question while I try to see why this is being silly with me? The way it works, it's supporting any Android device that have at least Android 9 or more. So it can run either on a phone and a tablet. And I think that's it for that. It's not very consuming application because since it will be running as a service on the LBus, it will be mostly the LBus that will be generating the information for the LBus Mobile. That's a good question, Jimmy. I'll have to confirm. Let me ask the product owner if he have the answer so I can get back to you because I haven't played very much with it as we speak, but let me just verify that. Just ask him. I said it. I see that he is in a meeting, so I might get back to you in an email, or maybe not. He's answering me already. So for the training, we have covered everything that we were supposed to see. I think what we will do now is that we will go on break right now. I will try to find out why my Albus Mobile is being silly. And everything that will be after the break will be extra. So I'll show the import wizard, so how to do import with the software and stuff like that. Let me just see what else I have in my list that I wrote down. Of course, I close it, so I don't remember what I wrote down. But there was the Elbus Mobile. I think someone asked for the safe balancing to see how it behave. So I will do a quick overview of it. Okay, so just to answer you, Jimmy, for the camera thing, for the first version, it will only work with if the device have a built-in scanner. So it is planned for the other iteration to do work with the phone camera, so we can use consumer tablet or phone for the Elbus Mobile. So as we speak, the first version will only work with a dedicated device that was built into the tablet. So we will go in break for now. I'll be looking to see why my Elbus Mobile doesn't work. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. I feel like Groundhog Day suddenly. Sorry about that. So how about we come back at 2:35? Is that okay with you? In the meantime, you will see me play with my my Elbus Mobile to fix it. So see you all at 2:35. Okay, I'm back. Is everyone back with me? Okay, so I was able to fix the Elbus Mobile connection. If you, as you can see on the screen, that's the main window how it look like. So we have some button there that we can use. There's a menu here. So yeah, so that's the same menu that we can access. So we can look for items, and here in this specific interface, it will be the change will take effect right away. So there's no importing or anything. It will, if you do a count on order and a receiving, the information will be added to the database right away. The simulator option is not very fast, unfortunately. Yes, Brad. On the old interface, yes, you can do that. You can save the batch on the NL and load it on the system. Okay. Yeah, you can do it on the handheld. You can do everything, and it will not be commit in the system until you import it, and you can re-verify the information. Did I forget to activate something? Okay. It's still in beta, so it's not quite released, and I don't know how everything works yet, as you can see. So for me, it looked like everything is grayed out somehow. Is it because I'm missing an option in my key? So I would have loved to show you how it works, but unfortunately I'm unable to. I'm so sorry for that. But that's, at least we all saw the main page. So yeah, the option that I have access to are the our settings and log off, and everything else is grayed out. They did tell me that I didn't need any module to use it, but it looked like it's not totally true. So we will just go to the I'm sorry again for that. We will just go to the let me just close that so we can, and I'll close the cell bus since that's not the one I was using for the training. Well, will this open here? Okay, so let's just go to the safe balancing. Oh. And I will just finish this cell that we started earlier. So I don't recall exactly who asked for safe balancing, but we do have a module that is called safe balancing. My accounting knowledge is not really great, but I'll try to do my best to explain you how this works. I'm missing a module in my key. That's why I can't use the Elbus Mobile. That makes sense. So that's the safe balancing window. That's how it looks. Give me just a moment. I have a colleague that decided to talk to me. Of course, I'm sorry, Brendan. Yes, I can show you how I got there for sure. So let me go back here. My mouse. So for the safe balancing, if you don't have a license, the option will be grayed out. But you go to LBOS. At the top, you have module, and the second option is safe balancing. For unknown reason, my taskbar is showing on top of the, well, no problem, no problem. So per day, we can only close the safe once. It can be closed twice. We can do it for the pass. Each column, each tab actually, we have some information. Of course, right now I don't have any sales for. Do I have a day with? I haven't done any pickup or declare for the previous day. Let me just go to the here again on module. We have pickup. Let it load. I'll go on Wednesday. Yes, exactly. So that's what I'm doing right now. So that's why I was like, oh, there's nothing here. So this is what I've done on Wednesday, the 27th for my cashier. So I have the following information. So I will just do a pickup of my information. So 135.24, 135.24, post. Oh, it will post. It will still date it for today. We'll see. Because when you get the safe balancing option, you will get the pickup option at the same time. So they will be together. To make, you mean to change the font to make it bigger for LBOS, except playing with the resolution of the screen? That's the only option that we have. I will just do a declare here to be sure I have something also. I'm at 190/20 by 180, 1080, I believe. Display settings. Yeah. It would not show on this one since I'm using remote desktop. Yeah, so since I'm using remote desktop, it will not show me. And I'm also remote desktop on my computer. And now my taskbar is, let me just close that, reconnect, because if I don't see the taskbar, it is not fun. Okay, so now I do see my window. If I go back to my safe, is it safe balancing? That's the one. And I do refresh. Do I have anything for Wednesday? Okay, now that makes more sense. So here I have my my pickup is my declare. So my balance is 185.24. So that's the amount I currently have in my safe based on that. Of course, I do not have any open value because it's the first day I'm doing it. Here we have different tabs. So the tab here is to add money to it, and the other one is to remove money to it. So that's the expense and deposit, and that's the receive. We have our revenue. The button here can be customized, so we can change them to be whatever we want. So if we have any, these are the one that are are coded for now, but of course they can be modified to fit your need. We have the same thing for the expense, and we have the declare tab. So right now I have a declare of 185.24. So let's say for today, I will leave my safe at, well, for the 27th, I will leave my safe at 185.24. And I will do my safe close for the 27th. I just want to make sure. Yes, I just hope it will do it for the 27th and not for today. From the LBOS, it can be blind. If you're doing it from the LBOS, we always see the amount, so they are not hiding. So that's for sure. If they are using this program, the pickup module, the amount will be showing for the cashier. If they decide, if you only let the manager do it, of course they can do the pickup and the well, only the pickup at the lane or loan, that they will not see the amount. If they do it at the lane, they don't have access to the amount, but if they do it at the POS, at the back office, I'm so sorry, they will see the information. Refresh. So I closed my safe yesterday, the 27th. So now 2028, I do have an open amount of 185. So it's being carried over from the day before. So I can decide, well, here we can see that I did also some, just to refresh. So we did, I already have, actually I have the same amount from yesterday. I did not declare them. So you declare 185.24. Post. That's correct, Brad. So from LBOS, it will always show the information. Yes, if you use the interface will show you the information. I'm not the best person to use this module. I'm always a little bit confused about it. And of course, but we do have our accountant in the office who is very great with it, and he can explain it a lot better than I do myself. But I'm still, so that's how the safe balance thing look. And also, I know that for customization, the question we usually have is that we can remove the totalizer that we are not using. So if you want to get rid of them, they can be removed. Yes, but we can turn out. Yes, exactly. Is there an official way to balance, Jimmy? I'll be honest. On my side, I do not know it, since I'm not doing support anymore. But I can look with the accountant from the office and get back to you by email to see what he recommend to do with the safe balancing. Normally, he's the one who do the information on that. I'm indeed preparing a training for safe balancing, since it's a question that really come often, based on what I see from the support. So we'll probably get familiar with it in the next month, and I'll be able to probably get more information on it. Normally, I'm better working on the when it's not working and trying to make the amount match, but now it's not working, but I'm not sure what I did wrong so far. So that's why I'm a little bit confused here right now. My things on my side that I usually do is doing the onboarding training that we're doing this week, and import export in LBOS or SQL command. Really, accounting is not my stuff. I'm so sorry. I can show you now if it'll be more comfortable if I show you how to do an import with LBOS. Just getting a CSV file. On our website, we do have a tool that we call Import Wizard. So it's not coming by default with LBOS. You can download it from the portal. The Import Wizard help us to create the headers that we will be using for importing. Let me just look import. It's normal that you don't see my screen. I'm on my other one. Just getting the file to bring it to the LBus since I know it is not installed. Okay. That can only be done on the POS, Brad, for the cash, for the bills and everything. So the POS, we do have a screen to input which bill was used under the cash pickup, but on the back office, we only put the amount. Okay, I'm confused that you have to teach people how to count cash. But yeah, what we can do, if you have any wish lists or recommendation you can do, send them to me by email, and I will make sure that they reach the correct department, so they can be look at and analyze, because you have a lot of great idea, and I don't want them to be lost. I did try to write most of them, but I'm pretty sure I might have forget some of them. So if you have time, maybe this afternoon or tomorrow or Monday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. Well, if you work on Saturday, worst case scenario, you can go to next week, and you have a recommendation for future upgrade or change. Don't hesitate to send them to me by email, and I will make sure that they reach out the right department, so they are being looked at. To go back to the import wizard, so it's just exe. It's coming with the ELB file, so that's the ELB file. We need just to copy it where the LBus is installed. I'll cancel the sale. Let me minimize the POS since I will not need it for that part. So where I want to run as administrator, I want to open location. So we put the file here. Continue. Oh, sorry. Continue. So here it is. So import wizard. I do have a. Do you want to? So that's just to tell that when you have a .hdr file, to always open it with this software. Okay. Make the change. I do have a file here that is a CSV. It's a random file I grabbed from a customer. So I'm not even sure on my side what is the content. It looked mostly like alcohol product. Seems great to me. Yeah, whiskey, wine. Yeah, so it seems to be like a Friday night. So here we have the option to select our import file, so we can browse through it using the import wizard. PL 2010, that's not very recent. By default, it will create the header for us. It will use the name of the file, so it match in the import folder. So with LBus, we have some import header that we do provide by default. They are under Office. So that's the one we give by default. So they are mostly for eWIC and SmartWIC, the one that are there. Cashbox is another program that we were using in the past. So it was back when computers were only using DOS system. So that's the POS software we're doing back on DOS. So I highly doubt you will use it. But the one that are there is mostly for eWIC and SmartWIC. So we will create one for this specific file. I'm learning about the file as I'm showing it to you. when we do next, we're selecting the file property. So do we have a header at the beginning of the file? I can see that there is one line. So I'll just make sure to tell it that there is one header file. Next. So which table will be involved in the import? Now I have to really understand the file I want to work with. Let's open it with Excel since it will be easier to see the content. So I have my UPC, I have the SKU, the number of liters per bottle, the alcohol rate, I guess, the percentage of alcohol, the brand name, the supplier, the category. Do I have a price? I do have a price. So let's keep it simple for now. I'll just leave it there here. So we will need at least the well, for the tables to know which one is required. For an item, there is different ones. So from my knowledge, I know that I will need the object tab. That's what we have under maintenance item. So it's matching the object tab here. I will need the price tab. I will need the cost tab since there seems to be cost information. Cost tab. I will need the POS tab. I do want to import the description. What else do I need? Vendor tab. SRE, which is store region. And I think that will be it for now. If I ever need to add another table, I can always go back and re-add it if I notice that I'm missing something. And when we have the files, it will show us the column that we have in the file. And after that, we can decide to map them to the right information. Of course, I will use the Excel sheet that I have open on my other computer to compare. So just to start, I believe the first one was the PLU number. So PLU number in the database field, that's where it is. It's F01. That's the PLU number. On the right here, this is all the fields that are mandatory for the import to work. So that the field on the right here, that they are coming all from the tables that we selected before, and they are part of the index of the table. So if they are not in the import, the item will not work and they will be missing from the system. The second column, if I remember correctly from the Excel sheet, it's the SKU number. So it's the vendor code, which is from the memory F26 memory item code. This one here is the, well, that's the size. So that will be F22. I know them by heart, so that's mostly why I remember them. But after a while, we get used to them. The other one after that is the total SU. So I'm not sure what it is. It's say that it's 1. So let's leave it like that and not touch it. The bottle case. So that's the case. How many bottle there is per case. So this one we will not touch it and leave it by default. It will be F38, which is the F19, not F38. Which is the case pack size for the fifth column, sorry. If I remember, that was the percentage of alcohol. The next one. That I don't know what it is, so let's ignore it. So we're at the brand. We want the brand. And I don't know by heart the field. So a little trick that you have for the filter, when you do a filter, oops, and you click on the F and right click on a field, at the top it will show you which field is the one that you're looking for. So right now I can see that the brand is F155. So I can type in the import wizard F155, and that's the brand. After the brand, we have the price. And I just note someone just told me that they add the option for me for the LBoss mobile. So the price, which is F30 from yeah, that's it. So if I do again the same thing I just did, I can filter base price and see price tab F30. I'll need to make sure that I have my one here configured. So F31, maybe that was the field that I was not quite sure here which one it was. Let's see if we have any. Oh, there is other value, so I will not use this one. And instead, I will hard code it in the import wizard. So in the import wizard, I can tell it to create a new column. So I can add a column. That's a custom one, so I can set it to F31. And I will set the value to something. Let me just compare with the file that I already made so I can look at it and make sure I'm not making any mistake. There is the help file. So the help file is explaining all of this. On my side, I've been doing it since a while, so that's why maybe I know most of the field. So AWG. Where's the one I want to see? I don't see it. I think this one will be okay. So here it is. So the modifier for that, I can tell it in the import wizard to be the column modifier. I can force it to be something else. I don't want it to be PAL. I want it to be 1. So for all my items, the F31 will be populated by a 1. I don't need the quote since it's a number. If we continue, the date for what? That's the price effective date. So that will be considered a price change. I see that they are all from 2009, so I will not use it, but we can set up, let's say if we want, we can, with the import wizard, we can add the information to the price change batch and the price will take effect in the future. So that can be done. In that specific case here, I will not do it since they are all passed and it will not apply. But if they were in the future, it will be possible to do it. I will not put the sweetness, the supplier. I can do it, but DLBus, the way it's working, it's looking for a supplier that will be a number. So if I go back to PLU vendor, normally the way we work is that we use a vendor number. So what we will have done for this specific file is that we will have said, let's say the vendor name in the field, and we'll have make a relation with the modifier to identify the vendor number that is matching the vendor name that we have. Because if I just set it up to import right now the current vendor information, it will not work. The information in the field is too big. It will not go through. So let's just keep it for now. I don't think we need the category either. So let's just go with the current information. We are not forced to define all the field when we're doing an import. But I still have to define the one that I have here. So I can add the column if they are missing, and I can enter the information manually. So F1000. F1000 is the target. So here I can put the target that will be PAL. So program all lane. I want the item to go to all the lanes. F1056, that's your store number. So here, let's me set it up for mine, which is 688. So add val 688. Oops. I'll manage to write it at some point properly. 688. F113 is to tell if I want it to be a regular price or a batch price. So here in this case, I'll go with the regular price. F126 is the price level, so I'll set it to 1. F2296, that's when we have lot pricings. Of course, in this case, it will be a default price method. So if you remember here, the price method is default. But if we're using B or P, it's a list. But here, since I'll be using default, the value will be 0. That's a little bit advanced, let's say, compared to the regular training. That's something we do every day. F2358, that's, oh, the vendor region. I'll set it to all, even I will not importing the vendor. I will not be importing the vendor information. And F27, so that's the vendor number. I will just use one of the column that is already there. Oops, not the right one, I deleted. F2058. All. So if you remember the vendor region, that's what I'm talking here under at the bottom of the vendor. So all will be for a single store. I will use one of the column to be the vendor information, even if it's not really, because I can't enter. There's too many characters there. It will not go through. So I'll use this one here. So fourth column. I was ignoring it, I believe. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I'll set it to F27. So that should be good to, I don't have any description. Did I forget the description of my item? I did. The one told me that I didn't have any description. Where is my description? So F155, I put the brand, that's all right. Molson Canada, but that's, where's, do I have a description? But that's here, it's a brand name, but I think it will better apply for the description than the brand. Okay, let me change that to be the description instead of the brand. F29. But I also need FO2 because in Airbus, there is two description. There is the one that we have at the top here. The top here. So if I do a filter on this one, I see that it's coming from OBG tab F29. And I also have one here that is coming from POS tab FO2. So when I do the import, I must make sure that I'm populating both fields at the same time. So we will look, I think I do have an example here to do that. FO2, not doing really much. Where's F29? Oh, that's an APL from Michigan for eWeek, sorry. Let's go with this one. I think it will include what I want. F29, FO2. Oh, here it is, what I want. So what I will do is that I will create another column for F02. In the modifier, I will tell it to use the information from F29. I go back to my import wizard. I will add a column. It will be F02. And the modifier will be used the information from column F29. We have a few modifier in the system. You can click the three dots to access them. And the list is all there. So there is different things that are preset that you can convert using the import wizard. If it's not there, we can always write an SQL query that will do it. And we can call the SQL query using the import wizard every time there is a new import. But if we just go with our current file and we say that should be all right. That's our new import that we made. if I go to my Office folder on this machine, import, and I look, here is the file that I just created. If I copy this from that's my CSV that I have, so I can copy it into the inbox 901. This can be all programmed also automatically. So I'm doing it manually today to show you, but the file need to be copied here. Paste here, sorry. We remove the archive bit, and it will be processed by Elbus. But this can be all automated. And if you have a CIL file coming from someone, or if it's not a CSV, we can always convert the file to CSV to make it work. So we have some flexibility. And now I see that my Elbus is processing the file. Oh, it didn't work. I have an error.
Hey, Dominic, can I ask if we can only get a particular file in a PDF, is there a way to convert that to a CSV besides doing it manually? If we had it as an automated
PDF. Well, no. I'm sorry. Okay. The PDF, it's considered like an image, so it will be difficult to convert it to a value.
Okay.
So here I see that, I'm sorry about that. Here I see that my file is having a hard time with line 751 for a value of 2,000. There's too many decimal for that price. Let's go see. The flashing money bag, Melissa, is for the to do a pickup. I have too much money right now in my my POS. That's why it's flashing. You just go back to my error. Oh no, I lost the line where I was. Set sync error. So do I see the value that they are mentioning in the area? Oh, here it is. Yeah, this here is kind of a little bit too expensive for this. Yes, that's something you can configure. That's correct, Melissa. Actually, Brad, yeah, that can be something possible. I never heard of any supplier that wanted to match our format. It's always usually the other way around. But if the supplier want to match the format that we did for someone else in the past, why not? You just go see the item that is in there here. No, that seems to be all right. Yeah. Well, in Excel here it's good, but when I open the file with Notepad, it's $2,000, but there's 4 decimal. So I think it doesn't like the. We cannot have a comma when we're using a comma separated file, a CSV. So let me just make the change and try to import it again. Yeah, that's a real file I'm grabbing from a real customer. So it may be incorrect. Well, we have a file for CIL file. Brad is bringing a good point here that CIL file are a nightmare, but we do have a program in Elbus called CIL to CSV. So it converts the CIL file to a CSV that we can use for importing. So that's built in with Elbus. So that's really useful in that type of situation, because I know like AWG, they do send a CIL file and we convert it to a CSV to be able to import everything. So here I got another error, so I get to have another Item in error. And now it's line 1939. Yeah. Yeah, here that's bizarre that they put the let's just cheat a little. Home, Control Shift End. Let me make my file smaller. So at least it processed so I can show you the change in LBus. We can go under file view internal process. Depending the size file now, it's not updating 100%, but if the file is very, very big, at some point you will see the percentage going up and you can see where you are in the importing. In this case, the file is not too big, so it should not be too long to process it in the system. Well, I said it should not be too long. Maybe I lied. The unprocessed window is because the first file did not work, so it move it to the unprocessed folder. This is when a file doesn't go through, it will be moved there. If the file is coming from the lane, you can just try to reprocess it. It might go through. Of course, here it's an import, so it will not work. But the unprocessed folder is all the cells that didn't work. That's where they will be saved. If we take a look at the item that I just imported, so here it is. So I have the Canadian 5-star. I have my price, $23 for one. Do I have a vendor? Okay. So I have vendor one. Oh, I don't have any case cost quantity, so I forgot to define. I only set the case cost. I did not set any amount to import. That's something I forgot. I remember just setting the field for F19 and not doing F38. So if you notice that you're missing something, we can always go back here, open the file again with the import wizard. Import wizard. We can modify our header to add another field. So if I look now for my F39, I have F19. Do I have a cost for the this? That's the price. It doesn't look like I have a cost. So I do have the case quantity, but I don't know how much they cost. Or I guess the price that I'm using is the cost. Since the file might be from the supplier directly. Oh, here is it something I can use? But yeah, so that the import wizard, the interface is not too complicated, I believe, and it's easy to manage. So that this file here was pretty quick. Of course, it's a very basic file. So if we have a different, let's say, if we take the example, the AWG file, there is 9 CSV that need to be imported. So it will take longer to configure. We are always available to assist you with that. Well, that when I say we, I mean I, because I'm the one working in that department only. So if you need help with that, I will be the one assisting you with that. Our support team also is very available. I will send you all the information to reach them by phone or email. But we have someone working from 8 to 5 p.m. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time every day of the week. During lunchtime, there's also someone who will cover. So if you call, if we don't answer you, is because we are on on another call. But most of the time, we rarely let anyone go to the voicemail. So that will be that. If you do you have any other question on the training? That's cover mostly everything that I wanted to show you this week. So if you have any question, don't hesitate. Maybe something you would like clarification, we can always schedule a call later next week or exchange by email.
I do have a question about the import. Let's say we're importing the invoices from the warehouse. If there's a UPC that doesn't match anything that's in the database, what happens to it? Does it get added?
We have two options. We have two options. Either we can create the UPC if we have all the information to create it, or we can just ignore it.
Do you define that in the import wizard?
That will be yes. For that part, that will be in the import wizard. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I saw that there is some question. Oh no, that's the same one from Brad earlier. Sorry. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know what I will do for the next week during the afternoon if I don't do training. Guess I'll be sitting on my chair and turning. Luca is asking, could you quickly show again how you were able to correct the store number in the time clock setting? Oh, I did not show you. I was doing it on the other screen, but I can show you. The original problem that I had at the first time was under configuration, miscellaneous time clock configuration. I was missing the active checkbox here. So that was the only thing that I needed to check, and it was working after. To do it from the interface to discover the store number.
The other thing I had to do to get mine to work was when it came up with that error message and it said, do you want to go into configuration, where it lists the ports. I had to go up there and I had to tell it, and you probably covered it with us, but I missed it. I had to tell it to go find the IP setup. You follow what I'm saying?
No, but let's go there. So if I go to settings.
Yeah, there, discover. I had to hit discover because none of that was filled in.
Okay. Yeah, that's the option. So discover, and you select from the drop down the one that you wanted.
Yeah, I think that may be what he was asking about.
Oh, sorry. Maybe, yeah.
I might be wrong.
Is it okay, Luca?
Yeah, so even after I hit discover, I'm not getting the ability to do the drop down. It's still grayed out. And I did go through and make sure that was active.
If you look under your Windows services, is the service running?
Let me check that.
It is called Legivision Time Clock.
Yep, it's running.
Do you have your firewall on the computer?
Don't believe so. No?
Are you on a public network? Do you recall that from earlier this week, you right-click on the network icon, open network and internet setting, and make sure that you're on private?
Yeah, I did check that earlier this week, but let me double check that and make sure. So it should be on private, you said?
Yes, if you're in public, it will not work.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's still not working. I can always follow back up with you at another time. I don't mean to hold up the whole class on this.
Sure, if you want to give me a call, I can always take a look and dial in with you to see why it doesn't work.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, does anyone have any other question?
Yeah, Dominic, can you go back over? Maybe I wasn't paying attention or something. Allowances, date range, discount on the cases.
I'm sorry, Sean. I'm not sure. What do you mean by allowances? Maybe
It's
we're using a
let's say
different
you got
name.
20 cents off a case of product for the month of July. It's not a discount
mean-
based on quantity of cases you purchase from a vendor. It's just a date-driven discount per case for a time period.
So let's say for when we're talking here about ordering, is that correct?
Yes.
So yeah, so it's still the cost break. Instead of what I did, I set a quantity of 50 last time, but you can set the quantity to 1, and there will be an end date, and you can set up the discount of 20 cents here.
Okay, I see.
Just that the quantity will be different. If instead of going with 50 or a trigger, you want it to be active right away. So you go with 1 and it will trigger right away.
Is there a way on the handheld or when you're receiving to notify? Let's say I've got an allowance that starts a week from now. Maybe I don't want to receive it now, but I don't because I got allowance coming up in a week. Is there a way to notify you of upcoming deals when you're actually in the receiving?
NL, the LHTML is very simple. So it's really just quantity and unit. But in the receiving, you have a discount column that you can use, or you can use the note also to write it down. If I go back to help us inventory, let's go receiving, create one. I'll just create one. If you want to put the discount directly, so you add your items. Let's set any quantity, doesn't matter. There is a discount column that you can use. So the discount column will apply to the lines. So if you want to give 20% off per case, then you have to give $2 off on the discount. And if you want to add a note, you can add a note here to say that there will be a discount maybe in the future. That will be also print on the invoice when you will be done.
Okay, well, what I was kind of hoping for, I guess, was like a notification that I had an upcoming discount. Maybe it starts tomorrow. Because what vendors will do sometimes is give you all this product and then the discount starts. I can't take advantage of the discount because 2 days ago or last week I bought all this product, where if I knew that discount was coming, I would have held off on buying that product until it was until the discount was actually active.
For the cost break, it will not show on the in the inventory module. Let's say something that will be coming in the future. It will only show the ones that are currently active.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Brad is asking to look at label. We can look at label. Okay. Oh, I did not set up department on my import. That's bad. So let's look at label quickly. So the part that you will mostly touch will be the sorry. Let me start that over. When we go to report labels, right click on the label, go to property. You have to select customize. One thing that is important to know, as soon as you press the customize, if you reach out to support for help with the label, they will not be able to offer you assistance. So you will be automatically forwarded to me. Of course, if we need to do changes and that will take a while, there might be fee. But if it's something very quick, it will be free. So to modify the form, what we have to do is here we have the template file for the form. So the FRP is the form. You click on the page with the pencil. It will launch the form manager. So that's the the application that we use to modify our label. Under the file menu, we have the page setting. So that's where we will define the size of the paper. In that specific case, it's a regular printer that will be printing this label. It's not a continuous paper. So here you can set up the page settings, but you also have the label settings here. So there you will tell it each label on this page what is the size. And from there you can decide to add or remove a field. So F01 is the PLU number. Here is the barcode. I don't have the barcode font, so that's why it's looking bizarre, but that's the barcode. If you want to add extra information, let me try to make some space so I don't have really much. Yeah, so let me see here. F30 is the price for sure. If I want to add anything, I can select, let's say, the vendor, F27, the vendor number that I can add to the label, so it will print on all of them from now. It's mostly a drag and drop thing, so you position the information like you want it. If you want to change the font, you right click, go to font, you change it to what you want. And when you save the file, you go to file and save. You will notice that the file will stay as customized. So at the top, it doesn't show the file is approved and signed by Logivision. And when you will print it, it will show the vendor information on it. It's supposed to. Yeah, that's not the greatest beautiful label that I've ever made. What I add right the F27, which is the vendor number. If I want a different font, let's say for the description, I right click on it and I can select the font from the left. And if you have a font, let's say here, it's listing all the font that you have installed in Windows. So if you decide to install your own barcode fonts, you can select them from there. But this is just reading the under control panel, the font folder, if I may say. Each system come with the default one. So the default one, if you want to play with them, that's the one that you have here. So they are all labels. So A, B, C, D, E, F are there to play it with. We don't have videos to show how to do the labels. That's something that I'm working on right now. I have taken over the professional service only a year ago, so I have a lot of stuff to catch up. To get some training videos ready, but I am indeed working on it, and I'm working on a specific class just for a label that will be just an hour to show the basic on how to do the customization. But most of the time, labels are something that we can fix with you very, very quickly. Yes, so you just add the font. I'm sorry, just to ask Melissa and Jimmy at the same time, they want to know if we can add a new font. If you have a font and you drop it in the font folder, the font will be listed when you right click in this list after that. So that's the only way to the only way. That's the way to get an extra font for the labels. You can print across a network. So no, you don't have to be on the machine. You just need to make sure that the printer is installed at least on the machine you're on. But you can tell if I go back to properties just to show you, oops, too many things open. If I go back to property, here at the bottom right, you can select which printer you'll be using for your printing. So this setting will override the one that you have in LBus. So your LBus will still print all the other report on this the regular printer, and you can define a label printer here that you want to use. Any other question? It doesn't have to be related to label if you have a question. Yes, Brad, it will work with any Windows driver printer. I never encountered a situation where it was a problem. Well, maybe once, but it was on Windows 98, so I don't think it counts anymore. But usually it go well. We can print label using DLHTML. Yes, we have a place where when you're in the option, if you're changing the price, you will be asked a few options in the menu. So it will ask you, do you want to print a label? You can print it from the NL directly. Again, it will be the LBus that will initiate the printing. So you need to make sure that the LBus under the printer, it's set to the right printer. So if you want to use your mobile, it needs to be defined in LBus prior to printing. To your mobile printer, sorry. If you're doing, Crystal is asking where do you define how many labels across and down? That's based on the page setting. So if I set the page setting to 8.5 by 11, and I tell it after that my labels are each 2 inches by 1 inches, it will tell me that across page I have 3 and I will have 10 down. So that's based, of course, on the settings here. The formula that we use, Brad, for the report is SQL. So they are SQL based. We can set an SQL query to show that information. We can ask him to compare with the regular price and show the information versus the active price, which will be your batch, and show the difference. Of course, if the price is higher, it will show a positive amount instead of a negative amount, but yes, we can do it. I think I'll go on vacation for 3 months. Is it a good timing, you think?
I also wanted to circle back to what we were talking about yesterday with the USave and the SRP. We did figure out a way to handle that for everybody else on the call that was kind of concerned about showing that savings. I believe, and Dominic, correct me if I'm wrong, but we can set up a script to run maybe like every day or something within the tasks that will copy the base price to the SRP. Then if we go in and create a batch, and rather than having to tell the system to take 10% off or 10 cents off, we do our batch the way that we're used to doing them, which is, let's say base price is $239. We want it on sale for $189. We put $189 in the price field and then commit the batch. We did get it to work to show the USave, which would be, what is that, 50 cents or something. So it does show that USave on the screen by having the SRP field match the base field.
Yeah, for sure. We can hard code a query that will copy the reg price base into the SRP every time we do deploy change or every time we do a specific action. It can also be a task that will run once a day or 6,800 times a day. Yeah, that's a possibility for sure. Any other question, or is it the final goodbyes now? Well, until you all call me. But let's say for this week. Oh, I'm only allowed to have maximum three months of vacation stack up. I'm already at 2, so I have to go on vacation at some point.
Keep your phone by your side.
Oh, I might bury it at some point if it's ringing too much. I do have a passport, yes. So it will be, I think, for this week and the training. Thank you all for attending and listening to me for 15 hours. And if you have any question, again, don't hesitate to reach out to support or myself, and we'll be able to assist you with everything that you're inquiring. And of course, again, if you have any wish list recommendation or change that you would like, send them to me by email, and I will forward them to the right department so they get the information.
We appreciate your patience. It's been a big help.
Thanks, Dominic.
It's a pleasure. No problem. Patience is something I have plenty of, so don't worry about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good weekend. It's Friday.
Thanks.
Is it? Yeah, Friday. So have a good
Yep.
weekend. Bye-bye.